Hi, thank you for having me on.
You're very welcome. How can I help you?
Well, I'm having a tough day.
Uh-oh.
um, yeah, it's not a big deal in the large scope of things, and I understand people are have real big issues. So I don't know. I'll tell you though, my heart just feels kind of hurt. Tomorrow is my 45th birthday, and my husband this morning gave me his plans. He's my husband of 20 years. He is a wonderful man, thoughtful, but very, very busy, very, very, very busy with work. And he gave me his plans for tomorrow and the week. And he's going to be out of town on business and spending the night away. And he has forgotten my birthday. And it makes me very sad.
Ooh.
Um, and I don't know if I can be mad, or feel like maybe being mad might hurt more than it helps. I don't want to say anything today because he has meetings lined up, and I think it would make things worse if he canceled those meetings, and then I feel like he would be maybe bitter that he had to miss out on opportunities for me, and maybe I would feel entitled or spoiled or self-centered if I tried to, you know, I don't know, put myself into his life when he, forgot me. I don't want to make things worse. So I don't really know
Yeah.
what to say or do.
Well, this is an event, right?
It
I
is.
mean, it's a happening. So sometimes in figuring out how do we deal with a happening is we have to understand the context in which that happening occurs, right?
Okay.
So here, let me ask you a couple of questions. Is is this very, 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 very unusual for him to forget a birthday or a special occasion for you?
Um, he it has happened in the past. It has happened
He's
a
forgotten
few
birthdays
times,
before?
or planned something else on occasion. On my 40th birthday, I think I really kind of try to forget about it. But my 40th birthday, he did go fishing in Florida on my 40th birthday, and that was really painful. He did come back with a ring and jewelry and try to make up for it. I think his friends
Well,
probably
why his
got
friends
on
had
him
to wake him up?
about that. I think his friends did. I don't think he really thinks about his birthday. I don't think it's something that he really cares about. If we were to forget his, I don't think it would bother him that much. He's just not
Yeah, and
a
I
birthday
mean
person.
it is kind of a thing that sometimes people treat others like they would want to be treated. I mean, they don't care about theirs, so they
Right.
don't notice the thing about others. But it sounds like that when it's in the past, and the context is that when it's happened before, you did let him know that this matters to you.
On the 40th, I really went. I took my children and we went to the beach and we got a hotel and we saw friends, and I really tried to make the best of it. And I have forgiven him, but it's that
What
sting of that still there.
that's
You know.
that's not what I asked. That's not what I asked.
Okay.
What I asked
Okay.
was, did you make it clear to him this really hurt me? Forgetting my birthday might not matter to you, but it really matters to me.
Oh,
Did
do you mean this time or on the 40th?
anytime 40th, and you said on occasion, how many birthdays has he forgotten?
I would say this is probably just the third. He did it early on in our marriage, and his dad drug him to Bath and Body Works, and he ended up with he came to the car with loads of lotion and body and stuff. So it's not often. We've been married almost 21 years, so it's not been
Okay,
that
all
many
right.
times over our. Yeah. And he does
But
well when he remembers. He'll go to a. No,
did
I
you
don't think
make
I did
I
a
still
good
I
job.
still don't have
No.
an answer. I don't know if you made
Yeah.
it clear to him how painful this was to you.
I would say I sucked it up, and I did not. I was not very clear. I kind of,
Okay. All right. And
yeah,
now
I pretty much, yeah,
you're
not great.
sucking it up again about tomorrow, right? You said I don't want to
Right.
bother him. He's got meetings, this, that, and the other,
Yeah,
right?
that's right.
So I'm trying to get the context here. Is that a pattern that when he does things, and I'm not saying he's a bad guy, you said he's a good guy. right?
He's a great guy. Yeah, he's a great guy. Yeah,
And he's a good husband overall.
he is. Oh yeah. Oh
He
yeah. He
loves
is.
you. He loves you.
Yes.
He does
Yes.
things for you.
Yes.
He
Yes.
sacrifices. He puts
Yes.
you
Good
ahead of
man.
him
Godly man.
sometimes.
No.
He puts you,
No,
what?
I wouldn't say he did that. I wouldn't say he puts me ahead of him. I would say he is a good provider, and he's a good father, and he's very loving. He's very gentle. He's very kind. I would say he is very focused on work and his hobbies, and he leaves me pretty much out of his schedule for the most part. And I know that
Hold
I don't
on.
want to, yeah.
You don't want to what?
I don't want to push my way into someone's schedule if they don't want me there. I don't want to get attention by demanding it, you know?
A request is not a demand.
Okay.
Let me tell you what I hear.
Okay.
First of all, I hear the pain. What are you gonna do with that pain if you just, like you said, kind of gloss it over again?
Well, I mean, the way I usually deal with pain is I try to think of others that maybe hurt worse, and I don't want to just.
Whoa. When have you ever been consumed with yourself and overburdened everybody around you so that they couldn't function in their life because you were demanding everything from them all the time? When has that ever happened?
That has not happened.
That has not happened. Not
No.
only has that not happened, what has happened is you're saying a long-standing pattern of, because of that fear, never even doing the one little thing of letting somebody know,
Okay.
right?
Right? Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So you said he's a godly man? Is that what you said?
He is. He is. He is a godly man.
So he cares about what God would say to him?
Yes, I believe he. Yes. Yes.
Okay. When I mentioned the phrase, does he put you ahead of himself at times? You
No.
laughed and said, no, he doesn't do that, right?
No, that's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
One of the descriptions of a godly man is in Ephesians 5. And it says,
Yeah.
husbands, love your wives as Christ loved the church, who gave himself for her. Okay. And there's a laying down of one's own agenda and wants and wishes, and not my will but thine. And Paul says in another one of my favorite passages, he says, don't think more highly of yourself than you ought, but thinking about the needs of, don't merely look out for your own interests, but also the interests of others, and thinking of others is more important than yourself. Okay, so I'm not questioning that he's a godly man. It sounds like he's a good man, but it also
Yes.
sounds like he has a little bit of a blind spot. Like he forgets, right? Now once he's reminded, he goes to Bed Bath and Beyond, and once he comes back with gifts, but it
Yes.
it takes his dad and his friends to go, dude, you can't forget her 40th birthday, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So what I would want is, I don't want a continual path of you walking around with a lot of pain and disappointment and not sharing that. So that's not demanding to share that, when this happened, it made me sad. I I I want you to think about these things. I need you to think about, there are certain things that are important to me, and I need you to know what those are. So I don't think it's intruding to let him know how you feel about this. And you can say, look, I'm not asking you to cancel everything, but I do want you to know, otherwise I'm afraid it's gonna, I'm afraid it's gonna, you know, like be in my heart and cause me to resent you and be mad at you and not feel close to you. And I don't want to do that. I want us to be close. And that's why we need to share things with each other. Now, I don't know in your relationship, I don't know, I can't say just go do that. I don't know what the consequences will be. I don't know him or the context or whatever. But I'm just saying long term, what you're describing to me is not optimal where you're walking around with a lot of hurt and he doesn't know that. If my wife is hurting because of something I've done, I really want to know that. And as you've described him, my hunch is that he would too. And he might end up at Bed Bath and Beyond. It sounds like he forgot.
Right.
Anyway,
Yeah. I
go
think
ahead.
that I think that sometimes he gets defensive if I'm critical of him, and I think that sometimes he thinks if he's not perfect, if he does something wrong and I call it out, he gets defensive and then I get hurt more. So I don't know that I am met with a good reception when I
Yeah.
come across
Well,
as he has failed me in some way. He's very
that
he's
and
per he's yeah.
that's why I said I don't know the context and I don't know how this will land or if it's even the right place to say it. But you've just added another issue to the list, and that is that in a good marriage, you want to be able to talk about hurts and this and the other person not get defensive. So there's more hurt from talking about it than there even was before you talked about it. See, that's
Right,
not
that's right. That's what I'm trying to avoid of a double hurt when it already hurts all by itself.
okay. And generally, in that scenario, what what I suggest, usually, unless there's some other reason not to, what I suggest is that in a time when it's not happening, they can say, I want to talk to you about something. There are times when I'm hurting. You know, we both fail each other, right? We're human, we make mistakes. But when you do something sometimes that's hurtful to me, I want to be able to tell you so we can get back and be close. I don't want to be holding it inside where I feel distant from you. But I need a way to tell you that where you don't take it as criticism or take it like you're bad or you're failing in some way, but you take it in the way that I mean it, which is I want you to know how I'm feeling so you can see what you did and not do that and we can get to a better place. So how should I do that? Tell me how to talk to you
Okay.
in a way that it doesn't end up in a bad place. And maybe he can have that conversation. If he can't,
Okay.
then that's generally when people need to go see a third party. When you can't resolve conflict because somebody's defensive, then generally you need a referee or a skilled person to help you guys learn how to talk to each other in a way that you can resolve pain.
Okay. That sounds good.
Okay. So
That sounds good. Thank you.
I those are the issues you've described to me, and I would want you to find a good, safe way to address those and help. It sounds like a good man, a loving man, a caring man, all of this kind of like like I'm going to speak for the male race here, like all of us, most of us, I mean, at least me, you know, we don't show up in life batteries included, right? We have to be worked on over the years. And and husbands have a maturity cycle. And I know that I wouldn't be, I mean, and I still suck as a husband, right? In a lot of ways. I could be a lot better, but I know I'm a lot better than I was, and a lot of that is because she would tell me where I'm clueless. And if she hadn't have told me and
Oh,
didn't tell me, then I would still be clueless. So that's a good part
oh,
of a
I see.
relationship. Yeah,
Right.
we need each other. We need each other to tell us.
Wow, that makes sense.
Yeah. All right. Well, happy birthday.
Well, thank you very much, and thank you for the time. I really do appreciate it.
You know, you're very welcome. And I will oh, you know what? By the way, I just got a message here from
Uh huh.
Jessica on our team, and here's what she said. Lots of people are telling you happy birthday on Instagram and Facebook and YouTube. So,
That's really nice.
yeah, how about
Thank you.
that? And
That's really sweet.
I hope your husband gets to hear. I mean, I don't know what you're afraid of interrupting, but I hope he hears at some point the pain that this has caused, and I hope you guys can resolve that in a good way. All right.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
And I hope you begin to also like get rid of this fear of overburden everybody and begin to talk about your feelings and kind of what goes on with you.
Okay,
I
I
think
will.
I,
I will.
I think
Thank
that's
you.
important. Okay. Thanks for your call and happy birthday.